Okay, welcome to our next lesson on index law number 3. You would have remembered we've already done laws 1 and 2, and in total there's 5 laws. So what we're going to do today is that we're going to learn how to expand and simplify, which we're including brackets, and also raising our powers. And I'm going to explain what that means. So here, for example, we have close brackets, a to the power of 2, close brackets to the power of 3. All this is saying is that this part here needs to be expanded out 3 times, and you've done this before. So what it means is a to the power of 2 by a to the power of 2 by a to the power of 2. And we know that because these bases are all like terms, that the base here will be a, and we also know that the powers need to be added. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Okay, so let's try that again, just to solidify what we're saying. So we have brackets. Let's say this time we have b to the power of 4, close brackets to the power of 3. So all it's saying again is that this has to be expanded out 3 times. So it's b to the... Oh, hang on, I've made a slight error. So it's b to the power of 4 by b to the power of 4 by b to the power of 4. We know, again, we have the base is exactly the same, so we know that it's b. And up here we go 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. So here what we're saying here is that we have when we're raising powers, that's from our brackets, then we need to multiply the powers. Okay, so for example, let's say we had 5 to the power of 2, close brackets to the power of 3. So to expand it, we know that we could write 5 to the power of 2 by 5 to the power of 2 by 5 to the power of 2. And that would be correct. However, we can have a shortcut, and rather than expanding it, we can go straight to simplifying this. So in that respect, and we know that when we're raising powers, we multiply the powers. So what it's saying is this 2 here multiplied by this 3 here. Now that's only because it is in brackets. So then we would know that the answer is 5, because it's our base. 2 times 3 is 6. If we look up the top here, we also know that this here would also equal 5 to the power of 6, because it's 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so let's have a go at making some practice, okay? So this time we are going to simplify straight from what we've got. Okay, so for example, let's say we have b to the power of 2 by 3. Now, again, because we are raising our powers, we have 2 multiplied by 3. So that means the answer, or we've left the equation, is b to the power of 6, because we've multiplied the 2 and the 3. Let's have another go. Let's have a look at something slightly more complicated, but it really isn't. Okay, so let's say we had brackets c to the power of 2, close brackets to the power of 4, multiplied by c to the power of 3, close brackets to the power of 3. Now think about it. I know it looks scary, but it's really not. Here our like terms are C. So I know that it'll be C to the multiplied by C. We know that. So this here is here. These are from here. Okay, now remember when we're raising powers from brackets, we need to multiply. So 2 multiplied by 4, 3 multiplied by 3. So 2 multiplied by 4 is 8, and 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. We can further simplify this. We know that our like term here, or our base, is C, so we can go C. And remember, when we're multiplying, remember we're not in brackets. Not in brackets. We are going to add 8 plus 9. So in this example, it is C to the power of 17. Okay, let's do that again, just to make sure that you've understood, and I won't write so much over at the top of it. So, we go, let's see, we can go A to the power of 2 by A to the power of 6, multiplied by A to the power of 4, multiplied by, close brackets, to the power of 2. So this is the answer. We're going to expand it out to make it a little bit easier to start off with. So it'll be A, 2 times 6 is 12, multiplied by A, 4 times 2 is 8. So the simplified version is A to the power of 12 plus 8, which is 20. Okay, so now let's have a look at division, because we have dealt with division before in more simpler terms. So for example, let's close bracket, open bracket. We have D to the power of 3, close bracket, to the power of 4, divided by D to the power of 2, close bracket, to the power of 3. So again, all this is saying to us is this multiplied by, 3 multiplied by 4. So we know that this one will be D. 3 by 4 is 12. Multiplied by D made a mistake. It is divide. So we have 2 multiplied by 3, so that is 6. I should change that colour just so I'm not putting extra emphasis on there. Okay, so to further simplify it, remember from our previous lessons is that when we are dividing, we are subtracting the powers from each other. So in this case, it's 12 take 6, so it would be D to the power of 6. Okay, so now let's use where we're just having pronumerals all the way through. So if we have bracket A to the power of M, close bracket, to the power of N. So here, remember, we don't know values. So because this is the basis, or the base, we know that this will equal A. Now, when we ever put letters together, it simplifies it as being multiplied together. So in this case, it would be MN. That's why it's really important that when we're raising these powers and when it's in brackets, we know that these two things are multiplied together. So to simplify it, we would go A to the power of mn. Okay, now let's think of something that might be a little bit more difficult. So if we had x to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 4, what would that answer be? Remember, when we are dividing, we are taking these away. So in this sense, it would be x simplified to 0. Now, whenever we have a power of 0, okay, so 0 power, the answer is 1, always. Similarly, if we had 2 to the power of 2 divided by 2 to the power of 2, our base here is 2, so it's 2. We have 2 take 2 equals 0, so 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. Just to be clear, if 2 to the power of 0 equals 1, 2 to the power of 1 equals 2. Just to be clear for you. Okay, to finish off, let's do something a little bit more complicated. But it really isn't. If you're following these laws, it really isn't. So let's solve this. We have 2, close bracket, open bracket, x to the power of 3, close bracket, to the power of 4. What does that actually mean? So let's have a look. So the answer is, we know 2 is just a normal number, so it's 2. Multiply, because see how there's nothing here, so that always stipulates that it's a multiplication. As we learn to simplify, and when we're raising powers, we learnt this before. This here would actually be x. Okay, we got that from, let me try and find my yellow pen here. Okay, so then what we do is, remember when we're raising powers, it's 3 multiplied by 4. In this case, it is 12. Okay, and then we go, let's further simplify it. Because when we're putting things together, we don't actually need to put this multiplication sign in. So to further simplify it, we could actually say 2x multiplied, raising power to the 12. Okay, let's have another go. We have 2x to the power of 0, take 7 to the power of 0. And the answer is, we have 2. Now, because before we learned that when we ever have any item, whether it's pronumeral or a number to the power of 0, then the answer is 1. So it's 2. Remember, this implies that it's a multiplication. So we have 2 multiplied by 1, take, remember again, anything like that, 7, so any number to the power of 0 is actually 1. So you go 1. So 2 times 1, we know from primary school that is 2. Take 1 equals 1.